Have you ever felt a sudden shiver for no reason? A tingling sensation that appears out of nowhere? Or that lingering pain, one that doctors can't explain, but you feel like it's trying to tell you something? The body isn't just a vehicle. It's a living altar, a whisper between the visible and the invisible worlds. It doesn't just feel, it speaks. Every symptom, every discomfort, every chill, it's a language. And if you learn to listen, you'll realize your body isn't just warning you of something physical. It's awakening portals. Portals of energy, of wisdom, of connection. The ancient masters knew this. In traditional Chinese medicine, yogic practices, shamanic traditions, the body was read as a sacred map. And what we call a symptom today, they called a calling to reconnect. How many times does your heart tighten and you say it's anxiety? But what if it's your heart trying to align your vibration with what you truly need? What if that knot in your stomach is your second brain warning you? This path isn't yours. Some say we're surrounded by signs, but few realize the clearest ones are inside us, because the body is not silent. It's just waiting for you to remember how to listen. Then today, you will remember. Imagine the human body as an ancient temple, carved not only from flesh, bone, and blood, but from energy, memory, and subtle intelligence. In the eyes of the ancients, the body was the map of everything invisible. Every organ, every point of tension, every heartbeat. A symbol, a bridge between what we feel and what we can't explain. It's no coincidence that distant civilizations, who never met, spoke of the same centers of power: chakras, meridians, energy lines, portals. These energetic portals aren't just found in books. They're within you. And when one is blocked, your life stalls. When one opens, everything shifts. Yes, the body is a map, but not just any map. It's a vibrational map. And these portals, though numerous, concentrate in three main centers. Three secret guardians of your destiny. The first pulses with love and pain. The second digests the world and its fears. The third watches time, shapes the future, and chooses what becomes real. They are the heart, the gut, and the prefrontal cortex. Three portals, three forms of consciousness, three keys. You can call them organs. Science calls them systems. But at their core, they are oracles. And now, let's open the first. The heart. You think it just pumps blood, but it vibrates, it feels, it knows. Long before you form thoughts, the heart is already responding to emotions, environments, intentions. It senses everything. Science is finally starting to listen to what mystics have said for millennia. Studies from the HeartMath Institute revealed the heart has an electromagnetic field up to 60 times more powerful than the brain's. And it doesn't just emit this field, it tunes into frequencies around it. It's like an antenna, receiving, emitting, influencing. And more than that, the heart has its own nervous system, a heart brain with over 40,000 neurons, capable of learning, remembering, even making independent decisions. But what does that mean in real life? It means that every time you pretend you're fine, but something in your chest tightens, burns, or feels suffocated, this portal is in conflict. It means you might think you're at peace, but if your heart vibrates in fear, the universe responds to that fear. This portal is the origin of what's called heart coherence, a state in which heart, mind, and emotions come into sync. When that happens, you don't just feel good. You align with your essence. Deep breathing, sincere gratitude, true presence. These are keys that unlock this center. And when it opens, decisions become clear. Relationships shift. Even the physical body responds with more vitality. The heart isn't just an organ. It's a portal of truth. And truth isn't something you think. It's something you feel. And now that you've heard the heart, it's time to go deeper, to a place where truth doesn't whisper, it screams. Before you could think, you could feel. Before the brain evolved to plan the future, the body already knew what to avoid and what to seek. And that knowing didn't come from the head. It came from within, right at the center of your belly. The ancients called it the inner fire, the power chakra, the gate of will. Today, science recognizes it as the second brain, the enteric nervous system. With over 100 million neurons, more than the spinal cord, the gut can process information, produce neurotransmitters, and directly influence your mood, your immunity, your life. But it holds something even deeper, instinct, that voice that says, "Don't go there. There's something off about this person. Something's wrong, even if everything looks fine." You feel it in your stomach, in the sudden contraction, in the unexplained nausea, in the chill that runs through your belly. It's not anxiety. It's not coincidence. It's visceral intelligence. When you ignore this portal, you start to lose the scent of your own truth. You become vulnerable to the world's lies, and to the ones you tell yourself. But when you activate it, when you eat with presence, breathe down into your belly, and listen to its signals, this second brain begins to protect you again. It doesn't analyze. It detects. It doesn't think. It senses. It doesn't explain. It knows. This portal holds the raw force of survival, but also the wisdom of integrity, because it does not bargain with what's false. And when it's open, you become immune to manipulation, because your body screams what your mind can't see. From the heart, the portal of emotion, to the gut, the portal of intuition. Now we move to the final one, the one that turns sensation into creation. There's a region in your brain that only humans have fully developed. It's the place where you imagine your future, where you dream, choose, and create. Its technical name is the prefrontal cortex. But here, on this path of portals, we call it the portal of intention. This is where conscious decisions are born. It's where the question, "Who am I?" begins to take form. But pay attention. What you focus on here expands. If you focus on fear, insecurity, or lack, this portal will give you more of the same. But if you plant images, words, and vibrations that nourish, it responds with vision, direction, and manifestation. It's not magic. It's neuroplasticity. Your mind shapes your brain through repetition, and your brain shapes your life through what it allows. That's why ancient mystics used to say, "Where your attention goes, your soul follows." But the most remarkable part is that the prefrontal cortex doesn't work alone. It communicates with the heart and with the gut. When there's coherence among these three portals, the intuition of the belly, the vibration of the heart, and the intention of the mind, you enter a state few have ever experienced, the state of conscious creation. Here, you don't just respond to the world. You reprogram your frequency. You align thought, feeling, and action. And through that, you shift the field around you. You attract. You repel. You shape. But what if I told you that for centuries, there have been efforts to shut these portals down? And what if your entire body has always known it? They didn't close the portals with chains. They didn't use walls or bars. They used something far more effective: forgetting. For millennia, ancient cultures taught that the body was a temple, that feelings were compasses, and that every human being carried within a sacred guidance system. But then came the empires, came the churches, the schools, the clocks, came the manuals that said, the body is inferior, instinct is sinful, the heart is weak, the mind must obey. They divided what was whole, separated emotion from reason, separated spirituality from science, separated you from yourself. We were taught to distrust our own feelings, to ignore pain, to silence intuition, to mock sensitivity, and little by little, the portals began to fall asleep. The heart became just a muscle, the gut a digestive tube, the brain a machine for repeating someone else's patterns. But the greatest tragedy wasn't forgetting the portals. It was believing they never existed. And in place of inner wisdom, they installed distraction, stimulation. They kept us too busy to hear what the body has always whispered. But even so, the portals never fully closed. They wait, with the patience of centuries, and sometimes they surface again, in a shiver, in a dream, in an unexplained discomfort, in a love that arrives and reawakens everything. They weren't destroyed. They were hidden. Because what is divine can never be erased, only forgotten. But the forgetting is ending, because the visible world is beginning to give way, and the invisible is beginning to rise. With evidence, with experiments, with names that sound modern, but echo what the ancients already knew. And it all begins with one word: entanglement. On the other side of the microscope, matter dissolves, logic bends, and what once seemed solid becomes vibration. Welcome to the quantum field. Here, particles can exist in two places at once. They can influence each other across distance. And even more mysteriously, two entangled particles remain connected, no matter how far apart they are. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. But the ancients already knew. The Chinese called it qi. The Vedas called it prana. Shamans called it the invisible web of life. Everything is connected, and that connection isn't just external. It happens within you. Quantum entanglement doesn't occur only between particles. It happens between thought and reality, between emotion and body, between you and everything that exists. And where does this manifest most powerfully? In the subconscious. Because the subconscious is your inner quantum field. It doesn't speak the language of logic. It speaks the language of vibration. It stores every emotion you couldn't digest, every trauma your body held on to, every belief you absorbed without noticing. And what's stored there shapes your reality. Even if you say, I want to thrive. If your subconscious vibrates scarcity, your portals remain in dissonance. Even if you say, I want to love. If your heart vibrates fear, the field responds with distance. But when you bring coherence to your three portals, when the gut whispers intuition, the heart pulses with truth, and the prefrontal cortex sends out clear intention, the subconscious aligns with the field, and the field responds. You are not separate from the universe. You are part of it in conscious form. And now that you understand this, the question remains, how do you awaken these three portals in practice? Awakening the three portals doesn't require mystical initiations or complicated rituals. It requires presence, repetition, and the courage to feel. Let's take it one step at a time. Portal 1. The heart. Objective, coherence. Harmony between emotion and thought. Technique, heart coherence breathing. Place your hand over your chest. That's it. Activate heart awareness. Breathe slowly through your nose. Inhale for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. As if the air were moving in and out of your heart. While breathing, feel something genuinely positive. Gratitude. Love for someone. A beautiful moment. Don't think. Feel. Do this for 3 to 5 minutes. And observe. Your heartbeat slows. Your thoughts calm. Your energy field aligns. You can do this when you wake up, before an important decision, or when you feel the world pulling you away from yourself. Portal 2. The gut. Objective. Reconnect with instinct. Heal visceral perception. Technique, abdominal breathing plus somatic scanning. Lie down or sit with a straight spine. Place one hand on your belly. Breathe deeply, letting the belly expand. Slow inhale. Even slower exhale. The movement should come from your core. While breathing, observe physical sensations. Tension, tightness, waves of heat, cold. Don't judge. Just feel. If something uncomfortable arises, ask silently, "What do you want to show me?" Instinct answers with images, memories, intuitions. Don't expect full sentences. Expect sensations. Over time, you'll notice. Your body speaks before the mind. And more often than not, it's right. Portal 3. The prefrontal cortex. Objective, clarity of intention. Conscious creation. Technique, visualization infused with emotion. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. First, enter coherence. See heart technique above. Now visualize a specific scene you desire. Not a vague wish, but a detailed image. You signing a contract, hugging someone, healing, moving to a new place. Now feel it. Feel as if it's already happening. What does it smell like? What's the light? The sound? The emotion? Hold that for 3 to 5 minutes. At the end, give thanks. Not as a plea, but as someone who acknowledges creation. This portal responds to intention that is clear and emotionally charged. No rush, no anxiety, just frequency. Final integration. Want to make this a daily ritual? 3 minutes of heart coherence. 3 minutes of abdominal breathing. 5 minutes of conscious visualization. 11 minutes a day. And you begin to rewrite your field. Reopen your portals. Reconnect with the wisdom that never left you. Because the body is not a machine. It's a temple. And you are its guardian. Breathe. Be still. Feel your body. Maybe it's warmer or lighter. Maybe your chest feels more open or your mind quieter. These are signs. Signs that something has shifted. Today, you didn't just hear words. You accessed portals. You remembered wisdom that had been asleep but never lost. The heart doesn't want you to believe in promises. It wants you to feel what is ready to return. The gut doesn't demand rational answers. It wants you to trust your feeling. And the mind? The mind doesn't want control. It wants clarity, direction, meaning. You are an intelligent system, a field of information, emotion, and energy. And everything you need is already within you. You are not a victim of chance. You are a co-creator of your reality. And with every choice, every thought, every sensation felt with presence, a new world begins to take shape. And now, I leave you with a question. one that is not answered with words, but with silence. What parts of your body are trying to remind you of who you truly are? Close your eyes, listen to the temple, and walk. The portals are open.